Hi everyone, it's me. It's conspiracy theories and things like that today. No football again, please. Most probably you will. I'm not bothered like tonight, to be honest. If you want to talk about, but not just yet, about this new signing that we've just started on about this. Is it worth spending well over £1,000,000 for Diamante? That's another matter, isn't it? Really, that's another thing. He's unproven in the Premiership. I said to my grandson Ben before he just phoned me, and he said, "What do you think of the signing?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Look," I said, "these Spanish players are all supposed to be great." I said, "We had Thiago, but we got him when he started to become very injury prone for Bayern. But he was great, but he was very injury prone with us. So we missed a hell of a lot of games. But he was great for us. This young kid who we've just signed, whether he's... I said to Ben anyway, my grandson, he said, "What do you think of him?" My grandson said. I said, "Well, if I made a video up, a compact video up of Gapco, and Gapco scored some fantastic goals for Liverpool, cutting in and having a go and dribbling and assists and things." I said, "We'd go, oh, he's great, him." So I reserve judgment until they start playing for us. I'm telling you now. But I'm not talking, say like we were signing. I like that Anderson lad. I think he's very good. Look at this, started already. It's incredible. The sitting. It's kind of coming here. Just start right at the bottom here. My nostril. Anyway. So, but not now. Don't let's talk about it now. Let's talk about some serious stuff. And I just want to mention, before we all start, my sponsors. That's Gap Painting Services. Listen, if you're an NHS worker, or if you know an NHS worker and they're wanting to decorate their homes, tell them to get these in. Simply because they get a very special discount, because they're an NHS worker. Tell them not to struggle, and especially pensioners, the older pensioners, the elderly, if they're going to want to do their house up, they get a special discount also. Tell them not to struggle. They could be your grandparents, they could be your parents actually. Just say, "Listen, try a Gap. Don't be struggling." So, that's Gap Painting Service. And if you don't fit into the categories of elderly or NHS workers, just bring them in to give you a price without any obligation. It's as simple as that. First class, fully time served, no cowboys. We've all seen cowboys, haven't we? They're not them. These are proper, fully time served lads. And fully insured, by the way. Gap Painting Services is fully insured. If anything, just in case anything does go wrong. Okay, that's the sponsors, Gap, the sponsors of every single podcast I do. And then I'm back. Hello. So what have you been saying to me? The Ironside. Ironside says another significant drone attack on the Moscow region today and Crimea under significant strain with the Russian naval fleet fleeing to Novorossiysk. Can I ever see these bloody words? incidental stroke dissent or panic starting to kick in. Good shout that Ironside. And he says, carries on by saying, I can understand Lavrov's concerns that the S-500 Prometheus air defence systems are failing and wider equipment and procurement issues. Do you know, I'm telling you now, Vladimir Putin, he comes out, how many red lines, as he says, if you cross, how many of them? He said loads of them. And they've been crossing them. So you get the EU who's saying he's bluffing again. And he calls us bluff again. And time and time again, they've called us bluff. And I've always said inside, if Medvedev would be president, that war would have been well over. It would have been over within a week. I'm telling you now, a week. At the beginning of it. At the beginning of the SMO. Because Medvedev would never have trusted the West. And he was just taking Kiev, because what the West said at the time of the SMO, when they were just outside Kiev. And the West said, listen, let's sit down, negotiate, and everything will be all right. Medvedev wouldn't have taken that because he knows what the West are like. And he would have just gone in to Kiev, locked everything down. And from there, I'm telling you now, he would have gone straight to Odessa. Landlocked it. That's what he would have done. And he would have said, okay, now you can negotiate. What do you want us to do? We're here to save the Russian-speaking people in all these oblasts that we're going through. What do you want to say? So, Vladimir Putin, can he be ousted by hardliners? Because people are just getting fed up. It's only what you said there, Ironside. And if he doesn't do anything, they're going after civilians. They talk about the bus that they went after, but they went after a high-rise flat, block of flats that they hit, where civilians live. They're not going after military targets. So this is what you've got to ask yourself about Putin. Is he pussyfooting at that? And I don't understand him when he wished Trump a happy birthday. There's Trump there sending all kinds of arms to Ukraine. Well, he's selling them, but the EU are paying for them. Storm it. I've added it up, what I was reading today, and it's over 5 billion quid with the amount. And look at us. What did he say the other day? Oh, we've got to look at other departments to stabilise the economy. And this is the money going to Ukraine and to build weapons to give to Ukraine. And the Western press don't print that. The Western press don't print it. There, he stopped at a frigate, not a frigate, a tanker in the Dover Straits, the English Channel, Oceanus Britannicus, as the Romans called it. And he called that a victory. Why doesn't he stop these dinghies? Why can't he do that? We're all full of illegals. So it's just nauseating to think. And obviously, I looked at a comment, not on here, and it was a cracking comment. And it said, like what Kaya Callas is coming out with, and von der Leyen, what she's coming out with. and everybody yelled Macron, that divvy, mates, that Nazi, and Starmer, that they're actually winning the war, Ukraine, which they clearly not. And a little comment came up and it said, but the winning the battlefield, he said, but the battlefield's not in Moscow, it's in Ukraine. Get your facts right. It was a great comment, smashing little comment. It's things like that I look out for, inside. And you do, obviously. And Phil. Hello, Frank and chat. Hiya, Phil. Lindsay. Little Lindsay. Even if Frank and all. Hiya, Lindsay. Good to see you up and about. Honestly, it really is. There he is. Good evening, Frank and chat. Do you not, the thing about Berlin thing is a slight of that? Of course it is. Two cheeks of the same. Yes, of course it is. But you're enjoying yourself, aren't you, over there in the current bomb? But anyway, Paul, yeah, it is, because I had our Francine down before. She said, what about Burnham? I said, he's not going to stop and say, okay, we're not sending any more money to Ukraine. We're going to look after ourselves. He's not going to say that. He's going to go along with the Western narrative. There's going to be no change. No change whatsoever. Really, has there been any change since since this war in 2022, February 2022? Has there been any change in prime ministers? The likes of that divvy, Truss. No. Rishi Sunak. No. Boris Johnson. No. Boris Johnson's got blood on his hands, that man. Blood on his hands. When he stopped the negotiations. When an agreement was going to be signed. Well, if Medvedev would have been in charge, he would have just chased it. What I can't understand also is that why doesn't Russia just stop the airspace for all these leaders going in and hugging Zelensky? Why doesn't he just stop the airspace and say, anyone coming in, any plane, we'll shoot it down. That will soon stop them coming in. And if we see them coming in by road or rail, you're under attack. That's what he should say. But he doesn't. I don't know why. And he's still getting on there. There's Trump now. I'm not talking to you, Paul. I'm talking to everybody. I'm not talking to you and Kath. You're enjoying your holidays. But there's Trump. He's selling arms and that to Europe so that they can give them to Zelensky. And he's supposed to be a mediator, a neutral. And he started it. Well, he never. It was Biden who started the war with Russia. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. And what's he doing? I can't understand, again, the Kremlin, by allowing Kushner, his son-in-law, who was a real estate agent, who's just been thrown out by Albania for just going into Albania and doing it. Get out of here. And Witkoff, who's also a real estate agent for Trump. They work for Trump, and he's sending them out in diplomacy things. They're not diplomats. They haven't a clue what to say. They don't know what to say. It's a joke. And Putin's bringing them in. I think they're making a fool out of him. And I think Excuse me. And I reckon that there will be a sort of, not a coup, but, like Starmer, challenging for the leadership. See, the West don't realise that if they were dealing with Medvedev, it'll be over. Medvedev is a hardliner. Excuse me. Sorry for coughing. Give Kat all of my best. If she's sitting there waiting you, Paul, drinking the pina coladas. Good man. And Phil says, Frank, if Andy Burnham replaces Starmer, will the deep state driving for war stop? No. In my opinion, I don't think the West will give up. No. They know they know how to rule the world. They must break up Russia. Yeah, that's what they want. They want to steal all the resources. That's what it's all about. But they'll never do it. Everybody's tried. Look, who are they fighting now, Russia? They're fighting NATO. Where are all these drones coming from all of a sudden? Where are these long-range missiles? Putin, he disappoints me. He really does. He should finish it off. People are saying, take the gloves off. Take the gloves off and go at them hard. Ali, good evening, boys and girls. Hope you're all well. Yes. And he says, well, Franco, the ex-Prime Minister of Romania is always in Ukraine and Moldova. Yeah. Because Soros took over Moldova as well, I know that. He cut our money and raised the prices to send money to Ukraine. This is what's happening here. I keep saying between 4 and 5 million kids are below the poverty line in this country. Below the poverty line, and he's sending money to Ukraine. And they're not even a NATO member. It's just that the West are full of Russophobes. That's what it's all about. Get rid of Russia. Let's get their resources. Let's make money. Ridiculous. And Ironside. Why won't Russia or primarily Putin, in your opinion, not do what Trump Mossad did to the IRGC? Yeah. GC, yes. Leadership wiped out in one strike. As the health issues, is there a power struggle or is the economy tanking? The economy's okay for the reports I get. They go into, there's people where, I'm talking about podcasters who are actually in Russia, and they go into supermarkets and it's full with goods. There's even shops opening, that was sanctioned. French shops, Italian shops, English shops. I'm talking about clothing. So they're there. And with the military complex, making all this stuff, these weapons, they're making more than anybody else combined. So they've got the arms and they could easily stop it. But I don't know what Putin's doing. Lavrov's come out, he said it's the end of the words now. After the incident, the last barrage of drones going into Ukraine, into Moscow. He said, "Now, no more talking." And they will feel the full force. But it's no use just going after these like energy things. They've got to be harsher. They've got to say, this is what we can do, and this is what we're going to do. Couple of Iskanders, Orishniks. That's what they should be doing. Right in Kiev. Right in it. Because when he was called his bluff, Putin, when he said, I want all the diplomats and whoever out of the embassies because we're going to flatten. And the EU said, we're not moving anyone. Putin's bluff was called. So now they think any red lines he mentions, he never does anything about them, and he doesn't. He doesn't. It's the way it is. A few days ago, says Ali, a woman and her 3 kids from Romania died from hunger. Unbelievable. Go away. That's shocking, huh? Oh. Good evening, everyone, says Steamer Holland, the old mate. It's me, that old mate. The Tenerife kid. Let's be fair, Frank, the BS we are hearing the Russians attacked Starmer and his home is a load of bollocks. Yes. Russia are our allies, not Nazi Ukraine. Yes. They think that we're stupid. They think that we are absolutely pathetic and believe everything that they come out with. They don't think that we know about the Banderites and the Azovs. They don't think we know about it. They don't think that we know about their flags with the swastika. It's on a different shape, but you can see it's a swastika. They must think that we are pig ignorant. Some are. I'm telling you now, some people, they want to believe it because they even our kids say, what's Russia ever done for us? I said, loads. He said, what? Name one thing. I went, okay. I said, did you have your tea before you came down? He said, yeah. I said, did you have your breakfast? He said, yeah. Did you have something to eat in the afternoon, like a sarnie or a biscuit or anything? He said, yeah. That's what he does for us. He said, I don't understand. We don't import biscuits. I said, no. I said, we import all the wheat and everything. We import it from Russia so that they can make a loaf, make a biscuit, so you can have your tea. All this, I said, you've got a car, haven't you? He said, yeah. I said, it's a diesel, isn't it? He said, yeah. I said, how do you make diesel? He said, why? What are you getting at? I said, well, there's a special oil that comes from Russia. Only Russia. Only Russia. That mixes with other oil to make diesel. Nowhere else has got it. Only Russia. And he went, oh. You see, people don't realise what comes out of Russia. People don't realise what resources are there. People don't realise that the West want that. That's why they want it broken up. A vast country. Buonasera, Franco, says Bella. Buonasera, Bella. Buonasera. And Carl lead them. Hiya, Carl. Even in Franklin's Hall, get them fans out. It's getting hot. The little granddaughter was down and she like that. Came down to see her, goes old granddad. And Bella said, evening chatters, are you all well? Yes, they are. I love what she's Paul. Just imagine Paul will be where he is now, Tenerife. He'll be sitting outside with lovely cat. It's this lovely lady. Cat just sitting, pina colada. Can you get me, Paul? Pina colada. All right. Get yourself one. No, I'll stick to the beer, thanks, Cat. Great. Love them. Well, yeah. I understand what Ukraine are doing, attacking St. Petersburg and Moscow. They are trying to strike fear into the middle classes, cause fuel spikes and put pressure on Putin to make a deal. I could be, no, you're not wrong. You're certainly not wrong. You've got hardliners now. They're saying, listen, we're not going to stand for this any longer. Medvedev's going mad. And he's got a massive backing, you know. Medvedev. Honestly, if Medvedev came in, say he'd be president tomorrow, they put him in, and all of a sudden, breaking news, Medvedev is the new Russian Federation president. Boom. He'll just send us planes in. And I'm talking about strategic bombing everywhere. It'd flatten it. It'd flatten Kiev. It'd flatten that. That's no problem with him. And then he'll warn any of the Balkan states, like that stupid Estonia. He'd warn all them. Any mercenary, and you'll get it. And he'd go after Zelensky. He will go after him. But he's so right there, Ironside, mate. I'm telling you, so right. And Carl says, my dad was a sailor in the Royal Navy for 22 years, and he saw one war, the Cods War, about 72. He picked up a good 22 years. Yeah. He picked a good 22-year Cods War. My old dad. Oh, that's I remember the Cods War with Denmark. That was and you actually see film, like news, the news, and they were crashing in. The boats were crashing because the British were, they're cheeky, and we were going into their 3-mile limit, and they were saying, "What are you doing? Don't go in. Don't start fishing here. It's a 3-mile limit. Every coast in the world has got a 3-mile limit, especially fisheries." But you know what else, Ollie? My dad used to blow up German submarines and battleships. He was an SBS officer. What hero? Him. Don't mention him much, no. And Ali, Ukraine just, I like that, Carl, I like that comment. 22 years, in other words, 22 years of luck. You said with the Cods War. Brilliant. But you see how peaceful it was? Like, today. See how peaceful it is? It was, I'm sorry. And today. We've always been at war with Russia. Cold War, everything. And they saved us from the Nazis. Saved us. Ukraine, says Ali, doesn't need to be in the EU or in NATO. The main thing is that Zelensky is the same race with the ones who lead NATO and the EU. Yes, that's the main thing. And that solves everything. Yes. Good shout. Good shout there, Ali. And Phil says, I have an idea how to stop the war. Simply make it mandatory that able-bodied persons who want must be conscripted. No one else, just them, should stop being so brave. Yes. All the sons, and the girls. Your family of sons and girls and grandchildren, they're too old. Yeah, get them in. Front line, soon fucking stop. And stay Mulholland, me mate. If Putin would have been like Netanyahu, Kiev would have been reduced to rubble by 2022. But I've said it all along, God stay Medvedev. That would have been rubble. Well, it wouldn't have been rubble because all the Russian soldiers would have been there. That would have been the end of it. And they would have got right down to over the Dnieper River, right to Odessa. He would only got to go along the Black Sea, bang, right outside it. Took Odessa. That would have been the end. It would have been all over. And Boris Johnson wouldn't have been able to do anything. But you're right in that way about that war criminal, Netanyahu. Yes, it would have been rubble. And Ali, Phil, they don't want to stop this war. This war bring billions, yeah, it does bring billions in. And destroy people. That's the main thing. Imagine they make money at machines. They do, that's it. As long as that machine is going around and making things, that's making money. Then they go to the biggest washing machine in the world and launder the money that's being made. Some for him, some for her, some for him, some for her. Making a lot of money. They don't want to make money. They want to destroy people. Oh, they want to make money. Make no mistake about that, Ali. But you're right. They do want to destroy. That's me, old mate. What happened to you last night, Ted? Got worried about you. I Frank and I chat. Hey, Ted. And Ali says their plan is to destroy as much white people as they can. I am very sure about it. I was watching a couple of Americans. I was watching 3 Americans. There's 2 fellas. I think it's called Flex or something like that. One of them. But it's not what we're hearing. Hear what's happening in this country. It's horrible. And then there's another big fella. Big, broad-shouldered fella. You want to hear him. And he gets threatened by a certain race of people over in America. And he said, I've got a gate to their place, he said. He said, and I've got a telescopic thing on my rifle. If I see anybody stepping a foot into my property, they'd be gone within a flash. That's what he was doing. Telescope. Little cross on. Should have heard this fella. It's bad in America, you know, what's happening over there. Yes, Frankie, says Ali. Her husband lost his job in Romania because of migration, and she as well. Then he left. Then he left to Germany to find something else, and ends homeless. He ended up homeless. Then she cannot afford food. They all die. Oh Christ, that's terrible. That's terrible. Horrible. Shocking, Ollie. Don't like things like that. And Stay says uranium comes from Russia as well. Yeah, the resources Russia has got. The resources that Russia has is fantastic. That's why they want to break us up. That's why they're always there. Every war there for business, but to kill millions of people for some damn money. I have no words. That's right. And the Zeb says, it was with the NHS dentist. I didn't hear what you said, Debbie. I've just... You see, with Jason, he sends it on to me. Any email. But Johan, he's in St. Petersburg, and that's been getting hit by drones. I hope he's all right, because they haven't seen him. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Deb? No, nothing's come through. Nothing's come through. Oh, fuck. I really want... do you know what? I'll get that done, you know, next week. Honestly. I'll get it done. I'm fed up with this. Hello. Debbie. I wish someone who knows me could get in touch with you and give you, you know, my phone number. Just text me, phone you right back. Jason should do it. I don't know where Jason is, you see. Jason. Waste of time. And little Lauren. Hiya, Lauren. And Max. Hi, Frankie in chat. Hiya, Lauren and Max. Hiya, sweetheart. Johan's email wouldn't go through. I think I've fixed it. Jason's supposed to fix it for me. It's just stupid. Deb, it's just stupid. And it's doing me head in. It really is doing my head in. It's doing me head in, Deb, honestly, sweetheart. Franco. Hello, Franco. We all want peace. We want the constant stroke, daily waste of life to stop. Yes. We want the money wasted on missiles to be spent on preserving and advancing life. Yes. But do you ever think we will reach this crossroad? I don't know you, Franco, but that's a cracking comment. It's a really good comment. I'll tell you for why it's a good comment. Look, people go on the holidays, right? They go on their holidays. Everywhere I've been, I've always tried the country that I'm in, their cuisine, always. I've always tried to speak their language. You get laughed at, but they're made up with it. They're delighted. And they congratulate. See what I mean? We're peaceful, loving people. This is what we want. We want to travel. If we can afford to travel, we want to travel. If we can afford to, just get on with our lives in a peaceful world, it's great. But you've got politicians who are adamant on wars. Excuse me. On the 4th of July, America is 250 years old. And you've got to ask yourself this, not ask yourself. Well, you've got to understand that all the wars since 250 years ago, since they got their independence, right? And all the wars since then, right through the globe, America hasn't been involved in only 6 of them. Think about that. Because they're in every war. Every single war. You've only got to look at Trump, this madman. He wants the Nobel Peace Prize. And he's coming out and saying, we've got peace now with Iran. No, they haven't. And he knows that. The Iranians know it. And he's supplying Europe, selling them weapons to attack Russia. So what kind of a fella is he? By selling arms to attack Russia. And he started this proxy war. Well, the Biden administration did. Well, really, the Obama administration, when he was president in 2014, after the coup d'etat in Kiev, when they overthrew a legitimate government that the people voted for. And they put in all these Nazis, what you see today. Because they was provoking the war with Russia, and this is what they wanted. They really thought that they could take Russia on and win outright, you know. So, is there a crossroads for their peace? Not with these lunatics in charge. There's Andy Byrne. I was just a question was asked, and Andy Byrne, I was just being voted in as an MP. He's going to challenge Starmer. Will it change? Will it change the outcome of what we're doing, going into and selling? Giving Ukraine drones and missiles and money, billions of money. And Starmer signed a contract, an agreement to give them £5 billion for the next, every year for the next 100 years. Think about that. inflation comes into that. So in 100 years' time, it won't be 5 billion. It's whatever the inflation price is then. Could be 1 trillion. See what I mean? And that's just for wars, escalation. Is there a crossroads? I love to see a crossroads. I was streaming the Earth, cracking it was. Should see the Earth. You know, there's valleys, you know, cities at the night. You know, you see everything absolutely fantastic. Forests, lakes, oceans, snow caps. Animals, you just see animals. Don't see any humans, just animals, just metering about. Bears catching salmon. I was just watching it, and I said, we're destroying this beautiful planet of ours. And we are. So, Franco, great question. Great comment. Honestly. And lovely Deb says, I copied the email from the chat. Debbie, I wish I could put my thing up here now. I wish I could, Debbie. I'd just give you it. Say, get in touch. Just text me and I'll ring you back. Talk to you on the phone, because I really need that, though. Honest. We'll sort something out. I wish Jason was here right now. I wish he was here. But I know where he is now. He's out shopping. It's the way it is. And Deb says, we'll leave my email here. If that will help, then delete it later, Frank. Are you sure? I will delete it. That's no problem. And Ali says, oh, dentists. Excuse me. I went to my dentist, and she told me to take. She never told you to take all your clothes off, did she? Take all my teeth from. Hang on. She told me to take all my teeth from out because I have an infection at 12. She'd make full denture, and I keep thinking about it. To lose all now. Back in Romania, eh? And Steve says, what do you call an Englishman in the World Cup? The engraver. I like that. And Phil says to Franco, yes, surely normal people don't want war. The bar stewards have abused Ukraine. In my opinion, Russia have been proven right after the 40 biolabs confirmed in Ukraine. But we don't hear about that, you see. And Hunter Biden was there, wasn't he, looking after them? And they tried to deny it. They tried to deny, oh, they weren't, but they've got all the proof. The Russians, when they went into these biolabs. That's been proved now, like, but they denied it at the time. The propaganda, misinformation, and lies. That's all it's based on about Russia, what went on. And Zeb says to Ali, you need a second opinion. You're right there. You're right there, Zeb. And Ali says, Frank, who owns the money machines? Americans. They produce it. So what do they need? Hang on. So what they need money from other. Yeah, they always need money. They print money like mad. No, they just want to destroy others so that they cannot go higher than them. Well, that's what it's all about. That's what they're trying to destroy BRICS, isn't it? BRICS. They're terrified of the yuan, the Chinese currency, because China is well ahead of them in the technology race, well ahead. The years behind. So was Russia. America couldn't even build a space station. That's why they used them here. The Americans, the Russians allowed them to use the space station. They can't even build one. So technology, they're up there, but they're not that good. Phil says, Frank, unfortunately, Andy Burnham will follow, of course he will, follow the same path. No matter what he says, he is of a new Labour. His political friends are not good. No. That's why that's why they've asked him to run. He's going to be a puppet like everybody else. Phil. And Phil says, a Native American saying, if a dove flies with the crows, his feathers may be white, but his heart is black. It's like the saying, isn't it? The old adage of saying, a sheep in wolf's clothing. Simple. But that's America for you. And Ali, Romania have the biggest inflation rate in the world, and the smallest salaries from the EU. And those corrupt politicians send money to Ukraine. We have no jobs anymore. Nothing is over. Game is over. Madness, says Phil too. Ali, copy my email down. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Have you sent it? I will copy it down. I've got my pen and pad here, and I'll just dismiss it right away. Get rid of it on there. And Ali said, bring it home this year, Frank. No, I don't support England. I've never supported England from a little boy. I've always supported the Azzurri, Italy, the Blues of Italy, from a little boy. And it puts me in good stead with what I've been fighting for since 1989, the establishment. And Lauren says, where's Bella? She's here with us, Lauren. And Droopy, he'll be watching a match I don't know what he'll be watching, to be honest. World Cup, he just comes in now and again, Lord, and then leaves, just pops in. Edward, oh yeah, Edward. Hello, Frank and chat. Big up, Ali. Yes. Yes. Is it my email? No. What has happened is YouTube won't allow it. I've just dropped me my little mouse. Yeah, it won't allow it. I meant to tell you. Fuck. See that? See, Jason's not here, and it's so fucking annoying. It really is, because I don't know whether. Let's see if my emails are open now, because I had our Francine down. She done things and ridiculous. See, Jason passes the emails on to me. That's gone into, the email in the description tab. No, fuck all. Nothing. Zilch. See, Jason's not in to sort it for me. No, nothing. Zilch. Fuck. Pissed off now. Excuse me. And Phil says, has everyone liked? Thank you, Phil. And Ali to the Deb. Yeah, that's good. I'll try that, Ali. Has that worked? Hang on. Hello, Michael. How are you? All right, Frank. Aussie match starting now. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you. I'm going in for me. I don't go on Facebook, but I'll tell you what, Michael. I'll send you the message. What's happening to me? Okay, because you don't know, you see. So I'll tell you what's happening. Definitely send you the message, honestly, mate. Thanks for popping in. He's watching Australia. Example 12yahoo.com. See? I tried the email in the description, and it just took me to your YouTube page. And Ali says it works like this, I think. And the Deb says, don't worry, I wish I could give you my address. Oh, fucking someone on here who's got my address. They've got my details. Like phone number. See what I mean, Deb? It's so annoying, sweetheart. It's annoying for me. Get frustrated, I really do. Don't worry, Frank. We'll get in touch through the week. Yes. Yes. And Phil says, Frank, George Galloway suggested he wants to go. Hang on. He wants go put his name in for Mayor of Manchester. Needs to get back in the UK first. Yes. Yes. Good shout, that. See, George, he's always asking for money of people, as you know. He's a multi-millionaire. And he's on a great pension from Parliament. He's always looked after himself. We can't share without compromise of yourself, says Phil. There's no... I think we're all being compromised, though, aren't we, Phil? No matter what we say, no matter what we do. And Ali says, doesn't work, Deb. Ah, well. And Michael says, I hope all's good with you, mate. Starmer case dodgy with 3 young boys. Yeah. Rent boys. How the fuck did they try to find out where he lived? Looks sus to me. Well, Russia got the blame, didn't it? In court, Russia was getting the blame. Russia. They're getting blamed for everything. Richard Hawkins. Hey, Richard. Frank. Not staying, Frank. Watching the World Cup, but stay safe and well. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, my friends. Just like the thing. Get me algorithm up there, Richard, before you go. And Phil says, George Galloway is right half the time, but he thinks he is right all the time. Yeah, you can catch him out a few times, you know, if you know what I mean. And the lovely Deb. I tried a few different ways, won't come through Ali. Don't worry, Frank. I'll keep trying through the week. See, when Jason, and this is where it's annoying, honestly, it's annoying, so fucking annoying to me, so frustrating. If, say Jason was here, now he's got things, he's got your email, but he hasn't sent it through to me. You see what I mean? Now, if he was here now, he'd send it through or he'd get hold of me, but he's not here. And that's frustrating for me. It really is. And I would have just answered your email, give you my details. I would have asked you to text me. And if it'll be all right, you know, to ring you, I would have rang you. Simple as that, Deb. Simple as that, sweetheart. And the poet, Droopy, has my missus been on this? Saying stuff behind me back. You can't make these things up. Honest to God. Can't make them up. Gonna have a swig of me. It's a cold drink on a warm night. I'm feeling no way. I'm saying. And Ali says, damn, well, you got it. You got it. No, she is a nice lady. Do you mean Deb? Of course she is. They're all nice ladies. Little Lauren, Toscana, little Linda Ellis, Bella. They're all nice. What would we do without them? And Phil says the weather has been boop, not in news, but a little bit of sun, and we're all doomed. Yeah, a little bit of sun, and we're all doomed. No, you're right. You're right. I remember it snows one year, and I listening to the news, and all the trains came to a stop. And I always remember Michael Fish, the weatherman, and they asked him, "Why are the trains?" He said, "It's alpine snow. Alpine snow." Just you can't believe this. Alpine snow. It's like the fucking thingy thing in the channel. Starmer's stopping a big oil tanker. Thousands of tons, yet they can't stop little dinghies, rubber dinghies. Pathetic. Can't make it up, can you? Yeah, I get fed up. I really do. Frustrated with things the way it goes. The way things are. I think everyone's gone now. No more comments are coming through. You all must be watching a match. See what I mean? Can't see the message. And Phil says, Frank, I think someone will be making billions from net zero, global warming. Nothing is for nothing. Of course they are. Of course they are. Everybody. Everybody makes money. No matter what. No matter how trivial we see it as. They will be making money. Has that Greta Thunberg has she ever worked in her life? How old is she? 22 or something like that. It's been going years. Has she ever worked in her life? She's never off the fucking celly. And Ali says, here in Romania, almost 30 degrees today. Marvellous, isn't it? Ollie said, everybody makes money besides me. I lose them. They hate me, Frank. I think money eats you. It eats everyone, Ollie. All us chatters. What did Paul McCartney say once? Can't buy me love. Buy you a diamond ring, my friend, will make you feel all right. It's not bad, is it? And Phil said, Frank, I shouldn't laugh. But when she set off to fanfare to the world meeting, when her protest ship was mid-Atlantic, they moved the meeting to another country. Yeah. But what has happened to her when she was trying to bring, food and that to the Palestinians and the IDF and whatever, their navy went on board? She was subjected to torture, that girl. That's what I don't like. And Ollie says, it's a joke. 25 years ago, I was young and poor. I'm not young anymore. He's still poor. He's not young now. And Deb says, Ali, I like the rooftops in Sibiu, Romania. Eyes in the roof like Anine. Romania's a beautiful country. Really is. That's what I mean about people destroying the planet. Oh, and Ali says, Deb, yeah, I lived there. The irony. There you go. There you go. And Phil says, Frank's seen a commentator stating that she won't be seen anymore since she spoke out about Israel. Yeah. And then she disappeared. Yes, she did. But she was also, remember, I was watching, fucking hell. Oh, took a cramp. I was watching something on the telly and she was demonstrating against Israel, with the Palestinians and the Palestinian people. But she was sitting on her own. I think it was a photo shot and she got nicked. Cops came along and nicked her. But it's all me, isn't it? Self. Publicity. I'm afraid. The little Greta. So the windows look like eyes in the roof. So the windows look like eyes in the roof. I'm going to go to another screen. There's a few of them up there, Zep. Eyes in the roof. Yes. I go to a famous street in Liverpool, and I showed them this house. And when I show what it is, they can't believe it. And loads have said, walk past there loads of time, never seen that. And it's a face, the way it's done. with a moustache. Oh, wow, Ali. Call him Ali. Don't be calling him that mad name. He's done that for spite. He must be. He must think that he's a Greek philosopher, like Aristotle. He is though, bit of a. Anyway, the poet says some of the architecture in Eastern Europe is amazing. During the Cold War, we were led to believe it was all brutalist concrete. You're right. Well, it was always propaganda, wasn't it? It was always propaganda, poet. Everything is propaganda. If you get anything, if anything good comes out, and say like China, I've been streaming China a lot on YouTube, and some of the things that incredible, absolutely amazing. Some of the buildings and railway systems, incredible. So if they've done something economically, which the leader now, America isn't, it's China. And they just go on about communism, the West. Don't trust the Chinese. Why? Why not trust them? What have they done? What have they done? And I remember saying that once, and someone said, well, the invaders there. I said, where? They said, that's Japan. Japan don't like them because of. I said, yes. Yeah. If you know your history, you know what happened between China and Japan in the 30s. You see, so it's all the Chinese fault, besides the Russophobe. So they got a phobia against China because they know that China is taking over globally. They know. With the economics and the technology. Great, the Chinese. Great nation. And Phil says, same report says Kaya Callas slipped up about the apartheid and she is going to be gone. They have the finished woman. They have a Finnish woman lined up, same style. Yeah, obviously. And Ollie said, I never says where I live, but she got me. Now, if the vlogs was on here, I'd have said he's been sending you messages. He's been sending Deb messages to see me, because he works for them like 6. The vlogs, but he'd be watching a match, or he'd be doing night somewhere. And the lovely Deb says, sounds interesting, Frank. What's this? What sounds interesting, Deb? Ali, Deb, there are old houses. They have eyes. Oh, do you mean the what I said before, Deb, about the house, in the face? And even a person one day, when I shot, she came up, living in, where, and she came over, she said, what are you always looking over there for? She lived there, not in there, what I was showing, but facing. And I went, yeah, come here. And I got it, and I put it in front of me like that. And I went, look, pointing out. And she went, I've lived here for 40 years, never noticed that. Can't wait for Charlie to come home. But she never called him Charlie, she called him Charles. Oh, can't wait for him. Would it be all right if I show him? I said, well, I don't know Charles. I said, so, yeah, why not? I'm not going to be here to show him, am I? Her face. And Ali says, was the ancient king of Dacia in ancient Romania? There you go. Pretty good, Ali. But I'm still calling you Ali. Not is it Dicomas? Or Dicomas? That'll be Dicomas, won't it? I'm a historian, and I do the Romans, but unfortunately, I don't do the ancient Romania, albeit your country's named after the Romans when they got there. Roman, hence Romania. Okay, Ali, it says the Deb. My real name is Alex. You don't know that. Tom Franco knows El Franchino. His real name is Alexis McAllister, and he plays for Liverpool. He pretends he's Romanian, but he's Argentinian. And he plays for Liverpool, Zeb. And Zeb says, looks full of character, Ali. Yep. That's nice, though. And Ali says, Romania is a very beautiful country with good, warm people. But the ones who came here and corrupt politicians, they try their best to destroy it. They always try their best to destroy countries. That's why you get a lot of sovereign countries. You've only got to look at Venezuela. Look at that. When Maduro, the president, El Presidente of Venezuela, was kidnapped by the Americans and put in an American jail. And his wife, what's that all about? For nothing. And this is America getting away with everything. Never trust Trump and Russia, Putin. That's why I've gone off Putin, to be honest. He trusts him. And he's taken the piss out of Putin, Trump, America. And Debbie says, it just seems a nice culture, Alex. It's Alex now. And Ali DeCommerce says, there are houses in my region who were built in 17 and 1800 and still good. Lot of castles, some of them have more than 800 years old. Yeah. We had a castle over 800 years old as well. Well, it would have been, but we knocked it down in 1724. And the poet says, like that solidarity movement in Poland back in the late 70s, yeah, Lech Walesa. We were told by the BBC, ITV, etc., they were ordinary Gdansk shipyards workers. The CIA and MI6 were all over the movement. Yes. Sorry, there, I didn't put it up. Yes, you're so right, poet. And I'll tell you for why you're right. You must remember when Thatcher praised Lech Walesa, and she was having a go at Arthur Scargill at the time, the miners' leader. He was a miners' leader as well. There was no difference. And yes, she was trying to destroy Scargill and all the mines, the miners, and the only miners that didn't come out with them was Nottinghamshire miners. Horrible them. And yet, Lech Walesa was a big hero to the Poles, and she was trying to make him a big hero here. But we seen through it about Arthur Scargill. Well, you're right. All of your propaganda coming out about them. Get in there, poet lads. Well done. It's great, though. And Phil says Frank seen a professor described that the hatred of Russia, China, Iran is a civilizational issue. The Western civilization can't accept any other civilization being a peer. Yes. See, you've only got to look at China. And when you read about, when every 5th of November, which I think should be banned, by the way, the fireworks and the celebration of the bonfire night, which was a load of bollocks anyway, and setting off fireworks. Who made the fireworks? Who had it first? Chinese. Who's the first man? The first satellite in space? Russia. First man in space? Russia. First woman in space? Russia. First space station made? Russia. So you say anyone about them? Oh, wait. I'll tell you, I think I'm a decent sort of historian. When Germany invaded Russia, the Soviet Union, I'm telling you now, honestly, they would have been made up if the Russians would have capitulated. And Russia would have been down on the floor. And it only goes back, doesn't it, to around 1814, 1812, 1810, 1812. And the withdrawal, 1812, especially 1812, withdrawal of Napoleon from Moscow. No one has survived Russia. You've only got to look today. No one's surviving it. No one. You've only got to look at how our empire was built. It was being built on resources. Anywhere else, got nothing there. And it's like America today. They're trying to build an empire by stealing their people's or the country's sovereign states, by the way, sovereign countries' resources. That's why they wanted Russia. They've got the lot. Ali, you need to come and visit Buchenthal, Castle Franco. Great history here. Great history there. Old paintings, old swords, dashing swords. Very nice museum. Yeah. Great. I love castles, to be honest. Love them. Fortresses. The Yanks don't want Russia in the EU. Europe would become more powerful than the US or China. Yes. There's no way that the EU now, especially with their funds of lying, would allow them in. They wouldn't want to go in anyway. The EU's finished now. It's finished. No matter how you look at it, it's finished. Jesus. Fuck me. Fucking shit. Keeps rising up. Keeps rising up. Okay now. Oh, for fuck's sake. Ali said to Deb, thank you, Deb. And the poet says, incorporate Russia and Turkey into the EU and Europe becomes the number one superpower. This is what propaganda's shown. It's only through American propaganda because they're all reading scripts. Look at what happens in this country with those murders. That murder of that lad. And the dad came out and read a thing. Every time I gave a lecture, I didn't use notes. Every time. I've given loads of talks. I've given talks to 240 Royal College of Art surgeons. I've given a talk to over 300 international architects. I've given talks to many professional people, 250 lawyers. I've given talks. Never used one note. And I'm talking, I've stood there for 3 hours. Just standing there. So, not taking any questions or anything, just. My point is, that man, he was talking about his son being knifed to death by some person. He was reading a script. He was given a script to read. And the same thing went on in America. Script to read. So you've got to ask yourself why. Why can't he tell the truth? And Phil say, Frank, the Americans copied Romans by parading. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was going to mention that actually. In the open back of a van, wasn't it? Or a truck, whatever we call them over there. Through New York in the wide open van. Some lunatics running the asylum. Yes. No, I haven't heard anybody condemn that. Not one. Not one. Not even the Pope. I think what he was trying to do, I'm being honest, is that's been a plan. Get in there, take him, and just say, anyone else, I'll go in and kidnap you. Threaten. I can do anything I want. That's Trump. But he's been defeated by Iran. Remember when he said about, what did he say? When he took out, decapitated the decapitation of the leaders of Iran, supreme leaders, two of them. He's like some sort of, not negotiation, but he was warning them, you better do that or I'll blow you all up. I'll kill you all. That's a man talking. A man who's supposed to be a president of a country. I'll blow you all up. There'll be none of you left. Have you ever heard anybody talking like that? Even Hitler didn't come out and say things like that. And he said it. Hitler gets the blame for the final solution. He never said the final solution. I'll tell you who said it. It was Himmler. Leave it with me. I'll have the final solution. Not Hitler. But they always say, oh, Hitler and the final solution. Do you know I've been taking a cramp in my toes? You wouldn't believe that, would you? Little old me. And the poet says, nice to see cultural vandalism was going strong in Liverpool back in 1724. Yeah. There was preservationists, Stephen then, poet. They say, what are you knocking? It's the first building in Liverpool built. What are you doing? But religion came into the fore at the time because they said, oh, church would look great on the site, looking down at the Mersey. Now, think about it. Imagine this, poet, take all the buildings away. Liverpool, right? Where Victoria's Monument is. So you take all the buildings around, going down to the Mersey, right? Going down Lord Street. Take all that. And it sits on a hill. And they said, just imagine a church there. Let's get rid of this. And anyway, he was preservationist, and they were saying, no, don't, it's the first building. It's full of vermin. Well, everywhere's full of vermin. Especially going back to the 1700s. The first part of the 1700s. Anyway, That's why. And they pulled it down to make it, or build a church called St. George's. The patron saint of the country. You see, so it's things like that. And you're spot on, Paul. All because of a church being built. So that'll be shown all around. Or seen all around, not shown. Seen all around. Because it was on a hill. And Phil say, Frank, there's a film that suggests the Catholic Church funded the Polish movement. Not sure if you have seen it. No. You see, what you've got, so details actually, I'll tell you that for nothing. It's historical fact. That's why Poland's a Catholic country. I'm not saying it's a Catholic country because of it. But you're right. But I've never seen the film, though. And Paul says the Catholic Church has backed fascist movements from the dawn of time. And I'm a Catholic. There you go. You say, the Reformation, you've got to look at what happens at the Reformation, poet. And they never trusted anybody after that. They did fund churches. You know, the Vatican, let's just call it the Vatican. Vatican City, they supported churches. Right through the centuries. They've always supported them. But when the likes of, say, like where I was christened and went to school as a little infant and a junior, the church was funded and also the school. So they funded everything. But you're right about, the church in the Second World War, especially the Vatican, they tried to stay out of it. And they were just being polite to the Germans. Don't forget, they were Nazis. They were being polite because priests were being killed. Nuns were there. And they just tolerated them. They tolerated them. And they were helping the Jews to escape, to get out of Italy. He was helping them, priests, nuns, the Jews, get out of the grip of the Germans. And you also had the partisans. Now, I know the partisans in the Apennines fighting the Germans, fighting their own people as well. The fascists of Mussolini. They were fighting them. You've got to understand that the church helped them as well. The church. The partisans I'm talking about. And Zeb says, Ali, we're from a city with very much mixed reputation. The past was mostly negative. I've spent my life speaking speaking my city up. I totally understand where you're coming from. I know your country is beautiful, has beautiful places. Well done, Deb. You're like us all, us Scousers, you know. We know it's a beautiful city, great historical significance, what we give in the world, and it doesn't get recognised, unfortunately. And Ali said, I'm Orthodox. Romania is the most Orthodox country in the world for those who doesn't know. 98% of us are religious, But with the American capitalism, good things are going down. Frank, seen a cracking programme with Stacey Dooley helping a Liverpool woman trace her ancestors. Her dad was a Chinese seaman, World War II, based in Liverpool in 1945. The government forcibly deported the Chinese after, of course they did. And what you never hear, I went through a Chinese thing, give a little talk. And what Liverpool never ever mentions, even in the history books, 48 Chinese seamen were staying in a boarding house and they were killed during the May Blitz. 48 of them, never heard of that. And they were here to help us. The Chinese, very inventive race. Did you know as well that they had the very first detective 2,000 years ago to detect crime? They more or less had like police, but they had one special man who detected, like investigated a crime. And they called him a detective. Excuse me. Been up since 5:15. Phil says Stacey Dooley's mum is from Spee, she revealed. Great show. The warmth of Liverpudlians, says Phil, shone through. Oh, that's nice. That's lovely, though. And Ali, only in my region are around 50 castles, Franco. Some of them made in 12 and 1300. Ours was made in, approximately 1234. Our castle. I've got an oil painting of it on my wall. Canvas. Excuse me, I'm so fucking tired. Anyway, the poet says the merchant seamen saved this country. The loss rate was higher than even the bomber command. Yet they weren't allowed to march past the cenotaph on Remembrance Day for 60 whole years. Yes. Do you know who the first to acknowledge them? And it was Archangel. A massive black wall with all the names of the seamen who lost their lives in the Baltic. Every one of them. A place called Archangel in Russia. And it's still there today. we wouldn't even recognise them. And I'm talking about merchant seamen, by the way. And they did save us the merch. Great shout that, mate, Paul. You complain about UK weather and you sweat, yes, like a pig. Like a pig, Ali. I love the cold. I don't like it at all. And Phil says to the poet, the real battle for Britain, but seamen don't look as glamorous as they don't. And the squiffy, the big feet and the squiffy. In their sheepskin flying jackets down south. And all posh accents. I suppose disgraceful what happened to those Chinese merchant seamen. Absolutely disgraceful. Never gets mentioned. But I mention it. My wife's uncle died, says Phil, after his boat was torpedoed. As he survived one boat sinking. It was horrible, to think that you're on a ship and you had the lookouts, didn't you, for their torpedoes coming through the water, the ripple. Could you imagine how they were? A poet says, Phil, it sickened the establishment that this country was saved by Scousers. The merchant fleet was to Liverpool, what the Welsh Valleys was to coal mining, and Sheffield was to steel. That's a crack of that. I'm finishing in a minute, people. It's been great tonight, by the way. Really good. And Debbie says, yes, might have 43 years in the March. Ended up in the German and Southern Irish. Ended up on the German and Southern Irish in the end. Because Irish get everywhere as well, besides those German elites. Trump doesn't know to Canada on the. I don't think anyone fucking knows. No American anyway. They put them. Nah. I'm tired, people. I'm dropping off here. I'm awfully sorry. I tell you for why I'm dropping. I've been up since 5:15. I haven't slept at all. And I was up early, yesterday morning. So I'm just. Frank, the professor said for Russia to defeat the West, they must not escalate. The Western leaders can only survive if there is a war. The West is collapsing. Yes. The deep state, they run us. And the poet says, Phil, we owe your relative and his comrades everything. True that. It's Johan Loch, blimey with. Good evening, Frank and Legends. Apologies, I'm late. Watched a Russian movie called Durak, The Fool, this evening. Brilliant film. You see him watching films? Film like last night. I was looking out for you today. I was streaming St. Petersburg again, but two places. But only on the roads, you know. Only on the roads, Johan. Our Debbie can't get through. Johan, I think it'd be better now to send. I think it will. I think my emails are getting through. I think so. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, this is fucking ridiculous, you know. Let me bear. Because she's sending me this. I really need it. I really need Deb to have my details. Like my proper email address. And not only the proper one, but phone number, everything. I really need to get in touch with her. Let's see. Sorry about this again, folks. Nah, nothing's come through. See, with Jason not being here, I can't get into those. You know where the process is, where the email description is in here. I can't access them if they send one, so Jason has to send it to me. And I don't know where he is. He's not here tonight. But I will get hold of him and try and sort it. And then you can sort it for me, Johan. If you don't mind, that is. It's more gentler, isn't it, than catching yetis and tigers and things and looking at Russian films. In St. Petersburg, it's getting droned. Worrying about you. Do you know what? I can't fucking believe this, you know. I'm cracking up. They're tired. Can't move it. Phil says, my uncle also died in the army. I had two uncles, the great uncles, who were fighting the fascists in the Apennines. They were partisans. And the poets who were brave men who we can never repay. No. No. Soldiers' lives are wasted. We need true defence, but the bar stewards misuse the military. I visited lots of war graves in France. Too many young men. Yeah, done it. Used to do it with my students. That time cop was unbelievable. I hate this keyboard's autocorrect. It always change my words. Many times it looks like I am drunk or something. Don't you think, Funky? Over there, Romania. Phil says, mine, so this is to Ali, mine plays a blinder last night. My comment was a lady. You had to change it, didn't you? The poet said, Frank, the Catholic Church was the rat line high-ranking Nazis used to escape after the war. Read the devil's chessboard, mate. No, I do know, honestly. I do know. It's like anything. It's like you're always looking for what side's going to win, don't you? You know, are they going to win? Are these going to win? So you stay in the middle. That was the church, honestly. Anytime, but he didn't trust anybody, to be honest. Phil says, Frank, I confirm the huge contribution Liverpool has made to the world, but you have to dig a bit for the truth. Yes. Good shout, that. And you're on to Phil. Nutters, Wang and Shen. Well, Franco, my father was colonel in the army and my mother was captain. Never told you this. I came from a military family. Well, funny enough, the majority of families here, there was always someone, a seafarer, in the family. Always. Port, you see. Phil says here, Yoa, you were straight onto it. And the Catholic Church was as paranoid about communism as the business and inventor class. And what? Yeah, you're right. They were, because they didn't believe in anything, did they? To be honest. But you're right, Phil. I mean, go. The poet says, my nan's brother was on the Russian convoys. That's what I was talking about before. And they've got a Archangel and Murmansk. He survived the war and was actually a commie himself. He was a member of the Go Away before the Go Away Communist Party. That's a shame. Wish I could have spoken to him. Wish I could have spoken to him, poet. Honestly. Especially, going through to Russia with arms and food and whatever. And if he would have been, most probably, he would have known some people who'd be on the list in Archangel who died. Frank up the crackers, yeah. I was, Phil. Couldn't sleep, being honest. Couldn't sleep. And the poet says, Phil, they actually liked the bad weather, though, because it kept the U-boats and Luftwaffe away. Rob McIntyre. Oh, Rob, why didn't you mention? I should have commented, mate. Should have commented, honestly. Get some well-earned rest, Franco. Great show again tonight, as always. Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. And Deb says, your email that I got from the chat didn't work, Johan. Oh, see what I mean? Fucking Jason, that. It's been supposed to be fixing. And Deb said, I tried to put mine, but YouTube wouldn't let it. It's stupid, honest to God. Long day if you've been up since 5. Get your head down, Frank, says the poet. Yeah, yeah, I will now. I will now, boys and girls. And Deb says, I'll pop in through the week. Next time you're live, Frank. Monday. I'm live all the time, to be honest. Deb. Got to sort this out, you know. This is just nuts. I have to have a word. I'll fucking send Jason a message. Deb, the pod's email is. There you go. It's mad, isn't it? You can't give your own. If you know what I mean. I can't give mine. Deb can't give hers. I've just copied that, Johan. So do another one. I'll get Jason to sort it out for me for tomorrow. I'll receive it tomorrow. Yeah, look, Johan says, remove the spaces before you put it in a link. There you go. Thanks, Frank, for a good show and chat. Bedtime, Frank. Yeah. No, do you know what? I'm being honest with you. What I'll do, I'll go in. What has happened, you see? I never eat before anything like that because I was just gone, sleep. So I don't eat. So I'll have something to eat and a nice cup of tea. And when I'm having something to eat, and after I've had something to eat, I'll just conk out. Just go, gone. Because it makes me very lethargic. Mr. B, see, look, he's been watching a match. Mr. B. Or he's been salmon fishing up in Scotland. Salmon up there. I think he works for John West. Good evening, Frank and chat. Good evening, Mr. B. Finish it now, Mr. B. It happens again. Don't get frustrated, please, Deb. Please, please. It's all over, Mr. B. Oh, you missed it, Mr. B. It was great. I had a Scottish person on tonight, and he's down the line. He's a cousin of mine, and I actually met him in 2001. No, it was about 2000 when I asked Ricky Tomlinson if I could meet Robert Carlyle. And on my dad's side, he's on a relative on my dad's side. Because he spelled the same way, you see. And I had him on tonight rather. Only a quick, just like a video call he was on and chatting about the 51st state and how he loves Liverpool and how he got his accent and things like that. Because he's broad Scottish, as you know, Mr. B. Am I putting anything extra in, says the lovely Deb. What have I missed, Phil? Hilarious tonight. You should have been here, says Phil. Thank you, Phil, for reminding him. Best laugh we've ever had. Not long in from where, yeah, he's been watching the match. We all know you. And Mark Simons. Excuse me. Sir Thomas Henry Hall Kane, Frank, was the first million-selling novelist from Runcorn, but schooled in Liverpool. He was loved by Bram Stoker, who dedicated Dracula to the Kane. Where is the blue plaque? Having a clue? Having a clue, Mark? Bram Stoker. I wanted it, but and Dennis said no. I wanted a plaque outside the Adelphi Hotel. Charles Dickens once stayed here, but he didn't really. Albeit he stays at the Adelphi. He stays at the original Adelphi. So I wanted to know, which was a shame. But it is one is on a building where it stood. And have a guess where that was. So I'll tell you. See, all of that I said, cost a few bob, plaques. Where it's have like on this site stood the first original Adelphi Hotel, and then quoted what Dickens said: the finest hotel in the world. That's what Dickens said about the original hotel. It's Jason. Don't tell Jason I've been calling him for everything, Bet you that Mr. B would have told him. Oh, go away. Deb, I've got it. Got it. Deb, let me know if I can ring you after this. Please. Got it. Yeah, see Jason. Great. And Johan. Sad, yeah. That Johan's been calling you for everything. And Debbie saying, where's that Jason fella? Case him, isn't he? Should be doing everything for you. And I said, I know. And Johan's saying it's not on, Frank. What he does to you. I said, I know. Mr. B even had to go at you. And Late one for work. Good show tonight, says Phil to the Mr. B. That just made my little night, that. That email may have went through that time. Seb got it. Jason's got it. He sorted everything out. Because I had to do something today. I was all day trying to do it. And I got fed up with it. So Francine came down to see me. And I said, can you sort that out, please, France? 5 minutes. 5 minutes, done. I missed a bit. Travelling 2 hours back home, Friday traffic. Said, isn't it? The weekend traffic as well. Workers coming home for the weekend, relatives going there up to see the relatives, you know, backwards and forth for the weekend. Help. Yeah, I seen that myself, Phil. The Scots marching, the Celts. And Mark says, hit the likes if you haven't, people. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. And the poet says, Mark Simons, I've never even heard of him. Thanks for the heads up. That's Bram Stoker's mate he's talking about. I missed the first millions. I can't believe that, can you? $1,000,000. I missed a bit. Yep. We are different breeds up here, Phil. Our travel and support, unreal. No trouble either. It's gone through, Frank. There was one too many dots. Yeah, Jason threw it on to me. But you haven't answered me. Can I ring you after this? Deb? If not, you know, tell me when I can ring you. And Phil says, Mr. B, yes, some of my ancestors are from up there. See the way he doesn't mention Scotland? He just says, up there. It's like saying, yeah, some of my relatives, you know, like not even mentioning Liverpool or, yeah, from there. That's shocking. And I'll, good night, John Franco and chat. See you next time, boys and girls. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Deb, you better get Frank a golden tooth. See, she never answered me. Mind you, yes. The Scots gave 10k to a children's hospital as well. They've been credit to Scotland and the wider UK. Yes, poet, the Scots are brilliant people. They really are. They really are. I was thinking of one big diamond. I always remember watching The Great Race or something like that. Tony Curtis was in. And you see him going, and a big sparkle, ding, comes out of his teeth. Is that what you want me to be like, Tep? Phil, nice lad. Yes. John West, Frank. Yeah. Oh, yeah. John West, that's who you catch the salmon for, isn't it? Scotland game on tonight at 11, says Mr. B. Might watch that, actually. See, I've got principles. I don't want to watch that America. Yeah, he wrote Dracula book, first one, says Ali. Frank, the end of your show tonight is the long goodbye. Stop, Mr. B. And this email. Got excited when I seen the email, you see. And the poet says, LFC, despite being in an Irish stroke Welsh city, is a Scottish club with all the Scottish players. We've always had a Scottish player. The Reds. We even called, what was it after Billy Little? Great Scottish international. Liverpool. That's how much revered that beautiful man was. Mr. B. Taggart, there's been a murder. Say that in a Scottish accent. Great, Frank. Can I ring you? Yeah, okay. I'll give you the bell. Phil says, Frank, they were from Wigtown area. Wigtown. They were loaded as if they were skint. Johan says, get some rest, Frank. See you on Monday. Take care, legends. And that's coming from him in St. Petersburg. You wouldn't believe that, would you? Our comrade in St. Petersburg. Al Kane's first million-selling book was called The Eternal City, about a certain city that Frank knows all about. Go away. It's great marketing. All the way from Gibraltar. In. Frank, you're a global phenomenon. Says, Mr. Beatty, Johan. And on that wonderful note, thank you so much. Hope to see some of you on Monday. Look at me. Honestly. Look, that scarf or a badge. Where is it? Yeah. Great people, then. Oh, for fuck's sake. See? Do you know why I'm wearing this? It's still cool. Does that make me a cool cat? listen to him. Oh, do you know what? Do you know? Tom Franco sounds perfect. Thanks, Mr. B. Mr. B is in my ears and in my heart. Right, I'm going. Thanks very much. Great comments tonight, by the way. Great, getting our teeth into, about Zelensky, from Zelensky to China to everything was mentioned tonight, wasn't it, really? And no football. Only at the end when we said about the Scottish Liverpool, Billy Little. And on that wonderful note, thank you so much. Thank you to our ladies. Honestly, who come on this show. I love you all, And Mark says, good night, God bless, Frank. Thank you, Mark. Mille grazie. And Mr. B, see you Monday, Don Franco. Thank you. If you don't see me, I'm sending the lads around. I'm sending the lads around. This is business, only business. Thank you, people. Love yous. Love yous. That's great, that, people. Thanks, Mr. B. Being late, traffic jams, everything. You should have got a police escort. Should have said, Frank, son, I've got to get home. See you later, boys and girls. Thank you so much. And Monday, have a great weekend. Please have a great weekend. Have a restful weekend. Have a peaceful weekend. And don't take everything to heart, okay? Ciao. Ci vediamo lunedì. Ciao. Ciao, Bella.